Hello everyone, welcome to my brand new Let's Play series of Icewind Dale. I'm Colonel RPG, and I'm very happy to have you here with me as I finish, for the first time, I believe the first Dungeons & Dragons game done by Interplay, because this game is not done by BioWare. This was developed back in, well, the last century. It was released in June 29th of the year 2000, I believe, and it was on the back of of the two games using this engine, done by BioWare, both of them being Planescape Torment and Baldur's Gate. This, I think, came out before Baldur's Gate 2, and I did play it for a little bit, the original edition without the enhanced edition. I got links for you in the description if you want to check them out for yourself, if you want to get the game for yourself, but I'm playing the enhanced edition because it's just it plays a little bit better on the modern operating systems and all that. So let's start off. I think we're gonna get a cutscene. Yeah, we are.
They say that history is the greatest of all teachers, and that tales of past deeds define who we are in the present, and what we shall be in the future. It is said that such tales shall, with each telling, illuminate us all with the light of truth. I shall tell you of such a tale. It is a tale quite familiar to me, for I have spent nearly a lifetime piecing it together and chronicling it here within this book. For years I have pondered its passages, studying every line, committing each word to memory. Perhaps now, in the telling of it, I shall at last find the answers I seek. Our story takes place in the northern region of Faerun, known as Icewind Dale. It is a harsh, frozen land, cut off from the rest of the world by a wall of jagged peaks called the Spine of the World. For centuries, the icy plains of the Dale have been home to the barbarian peoples of the Uthgard and Regedman. Huddled together in small, closely knit tribes, the barbarians lived simple lives, free, proud, and fiercely independent. Until the day an archmage named Erakan came to Icewind Dale. With an army of mercenaries, Erakan sought to conquer the north and force the fierce barbarians into slavery. Long weeks of battle followed, and the scattered barbarian tribes suffered terrible losses. Defeat seemed inevitable. In their darkest hour, a barbarian shaman named Jared came forth and demanded a council between all the remaining tribes of the north. A respected warrior, Jared persuaded the council to put aside their differences and unite against Erakan. Strengthened by a new sense of purpose, the barbarians rallied behind their new leader. The combined might of the Northmen proved more than a match for Erakan, who had counted on the division of the tribes. Wave after wave of barbarian warriors tore into Erakan's hired army, forcing them on the defensive and ultimately into full retreat. As his army crumbled around him, Erakan had time for one last desperate act before his enemies descended upon him. Drawing upon his remaining power, the Archmage breached the planar boundaries, tearing open a portal to the lower planes. The foolish Archmage's cries of victory immediately turned to shrieks of terror as the hideous and twisted shapes of demonkind materialized from the portal and poured onto the battlefield. The sudden appearance of the demons drove the combatants, barbarian and mercenary alike, to turn to meet the new threat side by side. The remaining warriors bravely charged the portal to drive the hellspawn back and were slaughtered by the hundreds. As his people fell around him, the barbarian shaman, Jared, looked up from the blood-drenched snow of the battlefield and caught sight of a lone figure high upon a ridge in the distance. Jared immediately recognized this vision as an omen from his god Tempus, and in that instant, he knew what had to be done. Shouting cries to his god, He charged through the ranks of the demons and plunged into the portal. As Jared's blood fused with the energies of the portal, an explosion of white light engulfed the battlefield. When the light subsided, the demons were gone, and the portal was closed. In its place hovered a disk of solid stone. Frozen within the center of the disk was Jared's body, locked in his final moment of agony, in his final moment of triumph, for all eternity. But that is not the end of our tale. It is but the beginning.
So not necessarily the most streamlined introduction to any game, but it doesn't mean that it's not a very streamlined game. It is a very combat-focused game, as far as I know for firsthand, but also as far as people tell me, because I've never finished it, as I was saying before. This is it's going to be the first time I'm going to do it, and it is a team-based. It's very much in the back of Baldur's Gate, and maybe not so much Planescape Torment, because Planescape Torment, you don't start off with a bunch of people in your party. We're going to play single player. We're going to start a new game. We have pre-generate character. That is a word. And this is our team. It is not our team. We need to make them. So we're going to spend a little bit during character creation. Let's, I'm just going to delete them. There we go. And I clicked create. Let's go with our first character. In this game, you don't really have, as far as I know anyway, you don't really have companions that join you and have storylines and side quests like in Baldur's Gate and Planescape Torment. BioWare is really known for that sort of RPG, and back when this game was made, they were basically the only people making games like that, where your companions had a bunch of storylines and all that sort of stuff. So this is Interplay. It's a little bit different. Not that Interplay doesn't have other games that have companions with storylines, like Fallout or Lionheart, but this one doesn't. The second game, I think, does. I'm not really sure, because I think you can get companions in the second game. Anyway, let's focus on our characters. And as I was saying, basically, because we don't really have a hero, we can have the face of the party can be not the first character if you want it to be like that. But I'm gonna make it like that. We are gonna have. This is D&D 2, so what classes do we have? Let's create a character. What we start with? Create. There it is. First off, we start with the gender. I'm gonna go with the pointy arrow. I am gonna, let's think about this. Let's make it an elf, because I want the voice of the party, and I'm not sure charisma. Actually, gnomes are better for charisma, I think. We'll see. That's a little bit min-maxy, but I want maybe a ranger at the front. I like playing like that, and I grew up playing games like that all the time. So let's see what the changes here are. So we got 90% resistance against charm and sleep. That doesn't really matter. Infravision, that's always good, having the first person. No, actually, you have party infravision in this game, so it's fine. If you have anybody with infravision, you select the team, and you can see in the dark, basically. +1 taco to bows, short swords, and long swords, minus skills, except for hide in shadows. Actually, move silently a little bit. And +1 dexterity and -1 constitution. So, charisma, it should really be a spellcaster, shouldn't it? It's going to be a spellcaster. We're going to have a spellcaster at the front. We're going to have a sorcerer. Oh, no! I'm going to have a sorcerer! I'm going to destroy everybody, because I actually know how to play a sorcerer. So, that would be a gnome. +1 intelligence, minus wisdom. I say charisma, but sorcerers don't really... They don't care about stats. That's the power of them in this game. It's not a problem. So, anything will do, really. And there's nobody with bonuses. So a half-elf sorcerer, I think that's good. With bow, short swords, extra dexterity, minus constitution. Yeah, let's go with a half-elf. If I remember correctly, half-elf is just basically a better human. There's no real downside to that. The races weren't really balanced to be super, equal back in the day. So we're going to go with, I say sorcerer. There it is. So the way sorcerers work is different from mages. Mage... yeah, mage is like wizard, I believe. In the newer versions of D&D. Might be wrong about that. So the sorcerer is different, because what the mage does is you can prepare your spellbook. much like a druid, although there's different ways of doing that, if I remember correctly. You basically prepare spells. A sorcerer doesn't have prepared spells. You can cast a certain amount of spells, and that's it. When you sleep, then you get them back, but that's it. You don't really prepare them. You already have that 4 or 5 spells per level. So may not wear any armor. It's a bunch of things, and it's all going to be amazing. I misclicked there. Don't mind me, because I believe there's a subclass over here, which is the Dragon Disciple. It gives you a breath weapon, +1 bonus to armor class, +3 third level may use breath weapon once per day. There doesn't seem to be any downside to that. Disadvantages: may cast 1 fewer spell level per day. It's terrible, terrible. Don't like it, and we're not going to be a fighter anyway. So alignment, I'm going to go with chaotic neutral, because that seems like an interesting thing. I'm also going to need to, let me choose a different portrait, because we're going to be a spellcaster. Ooh, that's cool. That's kind of cool. I like that. Okay, back to where we were. As for our abilities, charisma is... I don't think it is actually very important for sorcerers. I think it changes the defense rating of people. We have rerolls. I forgot. This game has rerolls. We got an 82 right away. Wow, that's really nice. Okay, so let me get some nice rerolls in here. We got an 88. That's pretty good. I think the maximum is 90. I'm not actually sure. You roll 3d6s on each of the stats, and there's minimums. So ideally, you get so that's 6 stats times 3. That's 18 times 8. So that would be that'd be actually not more than 90. There's probably some ideals, really powerful ideals in there. So we're gonna go with high wisdom. We're gonna go with high charisma. Intelligence is, for mages, basically, this matters to 0 whatsoever. So we're going to go with high dexterity, because that's good for armor class. And for taco, we're also going to need to attack things. I might actually lower wisdom or something. We'll see about that. High constitution, it's always nice. That's good for spell saves? Is it good for spell saves? I'm not 100% sure about that. But either way, we got some really powerful character right off the bat. I might want to go up on charisma a little bit and just have a bunch of dexterity. Not really strength, because we're not really going to use strength weapons. Let's see. This is for wand usage. We're going to have a proper wizard. Are we going to have 3 spellcasters? I think we're going to have 3 spellcasters. Yeah, let's go with that. Let me just think about this. I'm going to go with 18 Constitution and 18 Dexterity. I think it's going to be good. Technically, I could give up Charisma, because this game, sorcerers don't require stats for anything. But it's fine. Even though Charisma is supposed to be for sorcerers, but it isn't. So, skills, what do we have? In this game, it's very much like Baldur's Gate. We only have 4 skills. Actually, wait, that's not skills. What are you talking about? I thought that's not skills, that's proficiencies. Proficiency slots. You can't fool me. We're gonna go with slings, because who doesn't like having slings? I like having slings. I actually should pay attention to if I think they're dexterity based. Maybe. Hopefully they are. So, here is our spell book. Are we going to start with Identify? No, we're not going to start with Identify, because that's what Wizard is going to be for. We're going to start with... I'm going to go with Find Familiar. I think I can have the Familiar. Yeah, I think I can have the Familiar. And Magic Missile, because those are good for damage dealing. And my Appearance. Oh, look at this. Isn't this cool? What am I going to... Oh, okay. How about my Skin? How about that over there? How about my Major? My Major is red. Must have... Oh my god, there's so many colors. I don't think there used to be this many colors in the original version of the game. I think the Enhanced Edition adds a few more. And it definitely makes them difficult to select, because it used to be, I think, like a pattern sort of thing. I'm not sure, but that's good. And we have our voice, of course. Oh, that's right. Heart of Winter, I believe, is the expansion. Let's go with it. Let's see what we have.
You'll soon sleep with the dead.
Gods grant me strength.
Let's go with the dead. The dead one. Name. Cantor. Not Cator. Cantor. Cantor is a good name. Don't at me. Next. what are we gonna have? So we have our sorcerer. Next, we're gonna have let's have our right side be our fighters, and I'm gonna go with a pointy arrow again, and we're gonna have a dwarf. And let's see. Actually, let's pay attention to what the dwarves have. Ooh, they have extra skills for opening locks and stuff. They have extra constitution minus dexterity, but that's just maximum. It doesn't really matter. So I think it isn't a bad idea to have a fighter at the front. Yeah. It's probably going to be a paladin. Maybe. Oh, I can multi-class. Wait. This is the only class the dwarves have. Fighter, cleric, fighter, thief, or fighter. No, there's no paladin. I mean, that would be a cleric, wouldn't it? Maybe. May wear helmets. Yeah, may wear a bunch of things. Hit die D8. Hit die D10. What if I am a Oh, it doesn't say. Oh, it's because it's dual class. It's not actual multi-class. Is that... Multi-class is only for humans, I think. Is that how it works? D&D 2 has such weird rules sometimes. I'm gonna go with a fighter. We're gonna stick to what I know. Dwarven Defender. May use defensive stance once per day. Gains 1 use of level 1. At level 1. Gains... What is that? Gains 1 defensive stance at level 1. 1 use at level 4. Oh, I see. You can have multiple defensive stance. So for 1 turn, which is in this game, I think 60 seconds. Oh, no, not 60 seconds. 6 rounds, so that's 36 seconds maybe. Gains 50% resistance to all forms of physical damage. And a +2 bonus to saving throws and 50% movement rate penalty. That's kind of cool. I like that. Let's go with that. And alignment, we're going to have lawful neutral. That sounds like an interesting alignment team. And let's get the rerolls rolling. I swear the first click got this one. But yeah, so we're going to need dexterity. Or rather, we're not going to need dexterity. We're going to need strength for sure. We're not going to need intelligence. So that's... The 86 is lovely. We might need wisdom, so we're just using a fighter. That's not really necessary. And charisma, this doesn't really change much, so I can make this my dump stat. Oh my god. There's no minimum in this game? This doesn't actually make sense. I'm not sure if the rules allow for this. But there's no... Oh, I didn't even realize that. That's pretty good. My 868. That extra number over there is pretty good. If you have a 00, that's ideal. But that's 74 is pretty decent. So I'm going to go with high dexterity and high constitution or high strength. Actually, I'm not sure if I should go with 17 dexterity, because I can bring my strength up, and I think that's ideal. So 16 dexterity is probably good enough. But then again, there's no downside to it. Look at this beauty. Look at this beauty. Oh my god, it's amazing. It's amazing. This reroll. It was the first reroll as well. Anyway, skills. What do we have? This is proficiencies. We don't actually have skills. We don't start... Do we not have skills, or do we need to be a rogue for that? Either way, what is my portrait? That's a hammer, or is that an axe? It looks like a hammer to me. Then again, I don't know what the best weapons are in the game. He has a shield, so I can say that he has a warhammer, and this is a single-handed weapon, I think. Let me look into it. Warhammers are actually pretty bad. Let's go with axes, and we can have 2 proficiency points, which is lovely. Let's go with axes because they do 1d8 rather than 1d4 plus 1 of the warhammers, I think. I had a brief look at the Icewind Dale wiki, but let's see. Sword and shield, that's what we're going to have. We don't actually have the shield proficiency. This only... The wielder gets a -2 bonus. That's how armor class works in D&D 2, which it's a 2 bonus against of armor class against missile weapons. Yeah, this is basically to defend against missile weapons. That's pretty good. We can buy axes at any moment, but that's really nice. Now, in terms of my everything, how about purple? No, that doesn't go with that. No, purple would actually go with that. Yeah, I mostly just move the cursor until it stops and then say that's a good color, and it is a good color. We're gonna go with that. And this one, that one is good as well. And there it is. My hair, I need it to be that one. Perfect. I didn't think about my name yet, but we're gonna see about that.
Well, looks like I'm gonna have to go on a killing spree.
What?
Huh?
That sounds good. And the name. His name is Goronin. That's not a dwarven name. He's got a long and storied history. Storied history? That's definitely how histories work. They're definitely storied. So Guardian and Cantor, you can see that I have like N's and R's in my names. Let's now go with the next spellcaster. We're going to make a druid. And for a druid, I'm going to base it off of Jaheira, because that's my most famous druid of all time. And also, we're going to go with the crossy bits. And let's see, Jaheira was an elf. No, she was an elf, actually. Oh, these portraits, I've forgotten. Oh, man, I really like... This is the first game... I think this is the first game... No, this is definitely not the first game done by Leo Boyarsky. But the art style is done by Leo Boyarsky. The same... Leo Boyarsky from Fallout and Arcanum and Vampire Bloodlines. And yes, you can definitely see the art style. So... A staff and a shield? Is that a druid? That's a druid to me. Ah, it's good enough. It isn't, actually, but it's not supposed to be. So, we're going to go with a half-elf, and we are going to go with... we have all of the things... Well, in the multi-class, I don't really... I mean, that's how you maximize your potential and all that, but we're going to need a druid to, you know, cast healing and all this sort of stuff. And I don't know that they have bonus spells. I'm going to have to look into that. So, we have some for dual classing wisdom and charisma. Okay, so that's the normal druids. I cannot use shapeshift. Actually, that's not too bad. May use the summon spirit of animal ability once per day. Gains 1 use at level 1. And every 5 levels you get another one. I think this game goes up to level 12. It's not a very high level D&D expansion or adventure. The totemic druid summon a special spirit animal to aid her for 6 turns. The spirit animal has 1 HD at level 1 and then goes up. That's pretty good. I like that. And then we have the Shapeshifter may not wear any armor, and the Avenger may not wear armor heavier than leather, incurs a -2 penalty to strength and constitution. The Avenger is interesting because you get a bunch of spells as well. I'm going to go with the Totemic Druid because I'm not a big fan of shapeshifting. And I mean, it's not a personal preference. True neutral, as a druid should be, and actually has to be in this version of the game. And the rerolls are coming. Yeah, we had a 87. Did you see that? Yeah, we're gonna get something like that. But it's not that I don't like shape-shifting, it's that I don't want to play with it. I swear my rolls are good today. They come very early, and then I spend a bunch of time just casting reroll for no reason. Anyway, we got an 89. That is the best one so far. What do druids need? Charisma. Is that for I don't actually know what those are for. So wisdom measures a character's enlightenment, and it is a requisite for priests. I believe wisdom and charisma are what we need, and intelligence is basically not used for them. So I'm gonna go with a high... Oh, this is a hard class on stats. It needs all of the stats. Am I gonna treat this? Cannot use scrolls in most ones regardless of her class. Oh, there is a minimum. Oh. How did I get my minimum to be 1? Was it... How did I get that dump stat? My god. Yeah, we're just gonna go with 4 and then max out these down here, and then we have 2 more to go. We're gonna go with an extra 1 over here, and maybe a little bit of strength. That is not bad at all. And as for our skills, we're gonna specialize. What do I want? I have axes which are slashing damage at the front, and I probably want... She has 2 points, okay. I probably want 2 weapon style. Do I want 2 weapon style, or do I want to have a shield as well? 2 people with shields, that might not be a problem. Or it might not be... not weapon style, 2-handed style. Yeah, might not be the best thing. So let's go with a sword. Wait, spears. Are spears versatile like they are in later versions of D&D? I don't remember. Let me look into it. And when I say versatile, I mean you can use them in 1 hand or on 2 hands, and it changes the damage. But they are 2-handed, so we're gonna go with spears. I'm not sure they'll reach weapons, but we're gonna figure it out. And now we have the memorized spells that we're gonna be able to learn more of. But for right now, we're just gonna go with 3 Cure Light Wounds. These are the spells that we know, and we're preparing them right now for the beginning of the game. It doesn't quite matter too much, but it matters to me. So that's red and green. I like that combination. Let's go with a little bit of a green. Oh, we got the good green over here. I like that green. And a little bit of red if I can find one. Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Okay, so the hair is going to be blonde because that dirty blonde there. Okay, and then mage.
Prepare to be destroyed.
That's definitely not Jahira's voice.
I get all shield. I shall slay you all.
Actually, I think that might be the Jahira's voice actress. So let's not go with Jahira. Let's go with Manahara. Oh, that's an interesting name. I also clicked back instead of... I'm going to have trouble remembering all these names. Next, we are going to have... So we have 3 people already. And we're going to have another fighter. We're going to go with a ranger. And we're going to have a name that let's go with the study bit over there. And I did not know we had the other part. Oh, there it is. No, it's got the bow over there. That's a lot of weapons. Yeah, I recalled all these portraits. I mean, they're coming back to memory, obviously, because you spend a lot of time making characters in this game. And in the second game as well. So I want somebody with a bow. Why don't you have a bow? Is that a bow? Might as well be now. I mean, it can pass as one. So we are going to be... Halfling? Taco bonus with slings. Really? I didn't know that. Does anybody like using bows? Is it just for elves? With bows? Yes, it is. Let's go with elves then. And rangers can be very powerful in D&D 2. They're not so much in the 3rd edition. So we have rangers over here. Archers may not use the charm animal ability, which is not a big deal. May not wear any metal armor. May only become proficiency, or 1 slot of proficiency with melee weapons, which is not a problem at all. That's what I need. So we're gonna go with that hiccup as well. All successful ranged attacks within the next 10 seconds, that's the called shot, have the following cumulative effects besides normal damage. And it's basically, they reduce the... Oh, that's interesting. They reduce the abilities of the enemies. And we're going to go with Chaotic Good, because this is Gilladel, and that's her character. And now for rolls. We got a really nice roll over here. The higher the minimums, basically, the better the rolls tend to be. And I think that's why we had such a small minimum on the other one. Or a small roll, all things considered, even though it took me the longest, that 87 or 86 that I had on the first character. But either way, we're going to have Wisdom because of our spells. We got bonus spells from that. We're going to have Dexterity. And if I want to have a composite longbow, that I believe it is a different type of weapon. Ooh, yeah, we're going to want to have the strength bonus as well, because that's what composite bows do. And then after that, it's just it. That's it. We're going to want a little bit of intelligence, maybe. Having our archer use scrolls or spells, it's not really necessary. Skills. Is a bow different from a longbow? You start off with 2 weapon style right away, but that's just a free thing. We don't need to think about it. I think it should be fine. Composite longbow is a longbow as well. Good. Good. That's beautiful. So we're going to be able to have bows. Or I say bows, but it's longbows. And the short bow as well. That's interesting. You can have two of them. I kind of want to. The 2 weapon style. I don't know. Let's go with longswords. You can only have 1. So longsword and dagger. That might be an interesting thing. She's got a lot of stats, so it's going to be relatively versatile. Then we have a racial enemy. I believe it's called preferred enemy in later editions. And it's going to be orcs. We're going to be fighting a lot of orcs and goblins. Actually, goblins might be better for early, and then you can get newer ones, I think. And then... Are you auto-detecting the portrait colors? Because it looks like you are. I'm not sure. Let's go with... Oh, there's some shiny greens in here. I like that. Let's go with that. Ooh, that blue is weird. It's good enough. Okay, so for voices. Female thief. Do we have a female thief?
Dash and slash. Let's dance.
I like that. Okay, so I also forgot. We are going to need a thief. I forgot about that. We might not get a wizard proper. Her name, as I was saying, is Gilladel. No, actually, Gilladel. I believe that's how I write it, and that's it. Maybe. It might be written differently. So right now, we have a sorcerer, we have a fighter, we have a druid, we have a ranger. What other fighter would I need? I think a thief might be a good thing, just as another fighter, and then we have a wizard. Let's go with a wizard, and let's see another crossy bit, because I saw some portraits over here that looked really good for a wizard. Which one was it? I saw one that I liked. Was it this one? I don't think so. There we go, that's the one. And she looks like a gnome. So gnomes, she doesn't actually, but she does. We can say whatever. Gnomes have higher intelligence, and wizards require intelligence for their spells, for how many spells you have. I think it's 19. You get maximum spells. On I think more than that you don't get any. You don't get any more maximum spells on your book, basically. But I might be wrong. So we're gonna go with gnome. Besides, I think that's just the stereotypical illusionist. Oh, they can only wait. This is not a mage. No, it's wizards. Illusionist is the only one that they can be. That's not a bad deal either. They do have a different type of focus. They focus on specific classes of magic, but that's not a problem. And having an illusionist thief might be a good thing as well. If I wanted to have a barbarian or something. Is that a good idea? That is a good idea, isn't it? We need a thief anyway, and it's Imoen, so, you know, she's not going to be called Imoen, though. But Imoen was chaotic, well, she feels chaotic neutral to me. I don't think she was. So, let's see what I roll over here. Ooh, 85 right away, pretty nice. I got a 90, that's pretty good. I don't think we need to be too concerned with that. Ooh. Oh, yeah, because thieves require a bunch of dexterity. That's right. Okay, so maximum intelligence. Let's see, a character with a score of 8. That's different. And that is prerequisite for mage. So is it wisdom for wizards? Or is it charisma? It's interesting that it says paladin, but I'm not actually sure who is a paladin. We're going to need wisdom either way. So let's lower our strength and lower our constitution. Although it's not ideal that we do that. Druid, Bard, and Paladin. Yeah, I don't think Charisma is really necessary. But Wisdom... Oh, it's a maximum of that. Interesting. Let's go with these, just for kicks, basically. And now we have... Actually, not just for kicks. That's a bad idea. Because Constitution might be a good thing. Charisma really isn't important. Yeah, I'm going to go with a little bit higher constitution. And the reason is because we are a thief. So we're going to be doing thiefy things. So I'm going to go with open locks right away because that's what I like to see. I think there's a maximum to it. I am not 100% sure, but we're going to go with that. And then the rest of the stuff is going to come with time. And we are going to use... I need to be careful here because the thief and the mage might... not work together very well in the way I see things. So 2 scimitars, is that a good idea? Let's go with a long sword and a short sword. Katanas, maybe? Katana and short sword? Yeah, I like that. And these are the spells that yeah, you're gonna need that. So this works differently. So you have access to all these spells, and when you sleep, you can select which spells you're going to have for that day. So Reflected Image, that's not actually something I want. I want Mage Armor or Spook. That's not particularly what I'm looking for. Let's go with this. Why is that, like, green? Is that, like, the suggested spells? Do I have Mage Armor? Is it called Armor? By means of this spell, the wizard creates a magical field force that serves as if it were Scale Mail Armor. AC 6. Yep, that is what I want. Learn at least 1 illusion spell to proceed. Oh, that's why. So Spook is pretty powerful. It's not as good as Sleep, in my experience, but it's pretty powerful nonetheless. And this is your preparation. And we're just going to go with... Yeah, you need to have an illusion spell at all times, otherwise it doesn't let you. That's kind of interesting. Ah, look at you, not looking at my portrait. It's all green. That's the one. All the green. And let's see the hair. The hair doesn't matter. We're good. And then for voices,
It is only right that I lead.
I think I like that. Also, your name is not Imoen, it's Ardagar. Definitely not inspired by Arx Fatalis. And then That means that we have fighters and we have spellcasters. We have 3 fighters and 3 spellcasters, but we only have 5 party members. How about that? Now we're gonna make a barbarian, and let's go. Oh, I know. That one, of course. So, half orc? Sounds good. Glass? Ooh. What? A half orc can't be a barbarian, or is a barbarian not? Let's see humans, because humans have access to all the classes, I think. Oh, it's a paladin. I don't know that we have barbarians in this rule set. Maybe it's dwarves. No. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about that. So we're gonna do a half orc, but for a half orc, what is a shaman? Divine connection, may only wear leather, may not equip shields larger than bucklers, may only use the following weapons, and yeah, shaman is a spellcaster. Yeah, I never played one, so I don't like it. Let me make my decision here. I'm gonna go with the fighter, and we'll see if we have. Oh, there it is. That's what it is. The berserkers and all that sort of stuff. Rage ability, those are important. And barbarian, that's the one. You can also enrage. Yeah, that's the good stuff. Alignment. Let me look at her. That looks chaotic good to me. Let's go with that. Abilities. Oh, we need to reroll. Oh, 82. It's a bad omen. I actually saw a 90 over there, but I didn't get it. It doesn't matter because we don't need intelligence. So that's a dumb stat, and we can go up to 19, which is pretty good. Very high dexterity as well, which is also very good. And unfortunately, we are gonna need to like go strong on the dumb stats for this character. It's not too bad. I don't know if this actually changes save versus spells and all that sort of stuff, but this feels like what a barbarian would have. All of the strength, none of the smarts. We're good. Skills. That's two-headed sword. That'd be a good, interesting thing to have. Yeah, that's a good thing. Two-headed weapon, that is the stuff. Okay, we're gonna be amazing, hopefully. Appearance, the good appearance. That's what you have. Let's go with. Oh my God, look at all the skin colors. Let's go with little. Well, actually, she. I don't 100%. No, trying to match the colors is kind of tricky. There we go. That's good. And then the hairstyle. She a redhead, I believe. There we go. Good. And then for colors, I think those are good enough. Oh, now we're gonna have the voice.
Onward to victory!
Not that one.
A stout sword and my aim shall be true attack by Clangeddin's twin axes.
That's a good one. It is the deepest one of the fighters, and it's not particularly deep, but we're good. Name, her name. I didn't think about it. Malkava. Good. Do away with the R's. And there it is. That's our team.
Our tale begins here, in the quiet fishing village of Easthaven, one of the so-called 10 towns of Icewind Dale. The tiny community is hardly a town, but rather a collection of ramshackle huts crowded together upon the icy shores of Lech Dinashir. Here, within a dimly lit tavern, a group of travelers sit huddled around a table, swapping tales and making grand plans for the future, completely unaware of the part they are to play in the events that are about to unfold.
Why must all the taverns be dimly lit? Why can't they have nice candles?
What's this? New face in town, eh? Well met, stranger. The name is Hrothgar, originally of Hillsfar. But now, after years of traveling up, down, and under Faerun, I am content to call this town my home. Who might you be?
Greetings, Hrothgar. My name is Cantor.
Well then, welcome to Easthaven. Whatever your business in these parts might be, I would offer you this small piece of advice. While you're in my town, you do well to be on your best behavior. These folk are under my protection, and anyone who would seek to do harm to them in any way shall answer to me. That said, I'll let you get back to your cups. I'm sure you've had a long journey, and you'll find there's no better way to shake off the cold of the road than by downing a few mugs of Grisella's best. And if you're in need of lodging, I would recommend talking to Quimby over at the Snowdrift Inn over on the east side of town. Equipment and supplies can be purchased next door at Pomob's Emporium. Pomob's prices are a bit high, even for a Kalashite. But you'd be better off well-equipped and short of coin than the other way around. Ill-prepared travelers don't last long in these parts. Once you've had a chance to rest up and get your bearings, come by and see me at my house. It's just a couple doors west of here. There's some business I would discuss with you. Farewell.
Toodaloo. And we all turn back to our table. And we can zoom in, because, you know, even though I'm playing at 1080p, it still allows us to do that because it's the enhanced edition. So I press W to move up. That's not how this game works. You can middle click to move around, but we're out of time for the day because of the character creation takes forever. And honestly, it could take 2 hours easily. I could spend more time. I could spend a whole afternoon creating characters for this and just judging all the things and all that. And I didn't do a very good job, I'm sure. But this game hopefully won't be too much of a challenge in regards to having the ideal builds or anything, and our builds are good enough for the moment because I also re-rolled very nicely. So yeah, that's gonna be that for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again in the second episode, the next one. If it is out already, of course you can click up here, and if it isn't, well, you're gonna need to wait a little bit because for right now I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Icewind Dale. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment. Like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.